Okay, welcome back to the deep dive.
Hmm.
Today we're popping the cork on something a little unexpected, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, a deep dive into strawberry wine. Now, I know, stick with us here because if the idea of strawberry wine just sounds like a really cloying, overly sweet novelty drink.
Like big syrupy stuff.
Exactly. Well, the material we explored actually has some genuinely surprising things to say about it.
That's right. Our goal here is really to peel back the layers on this specific type of wine. What makes it distinct?
Hmm.
How is it actually made? And maybe more importantly, best enjoyed? And why, based on the sources we looked at, does it maybe deserve a bit more respect and attention that it usually gets?
Absolutely, because what stands out immediately, right, is that we're not talking about some like flavored grape wine here.
No, right.
This is wine crafted entirely from actual strawberries.
Exactly. And the real revelation, I think, from the sources
Mm.
is that a well-made strawberry wine isn't just sweet. It can be balanced. It can be even sort of sophisticated.
Mm,
Yeah. One phrase that kept popping up was how it captures summer in a glass.
I like that.
Me too. And it's often quite approachable, typically sitting around 10–11% ABV.
Oh, okay.
So it's a slightly gentler option than, say, a lot of bigger red wines.
Right. So let's get into that taste profile then. What does it actually taste like beyond, well, strawberries?
Well, what's fascinating here is the balance. The sources really emphasize it's this dance between sweet and a pleasant, slight tartness. It's not meant to be a sugar bomb.
Okay, that's key and crucial for avoiding that candy feel you mentioned earlier. It's about genuine, fresh strawberry notes.
Yes, like eating a ripe berry, not, drinking some artificial syrup.
Gotcha.
Precisely. And if you dig a little deeper, sort of behind that initial burst of fruit, you often find these lovely subtle hints.
Like what?
We're talking delicate citrus notes, maybe lemon or orange zest, and even faint floral undertones, rose petals, maybe.
Really?
Floral. Yeah, and it adds this layer complexity that, frankly, you might not initially expect from a fruit wine.
I was surprised by the range of styles described, too. It's not just one single thing, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
You can find drier versions, quite crisp on the finish, or others that are semi-sweet with this really smooth, almost velvety mouthfeel.
Okay.
Yes, that versatility makes it really interesting. If you're someone who already enjoys, say, a crisp Riesling or maybe a refreshing rosé,
Hmm.
the material suggests strawberry wine is a very natural and probably delightful next step to take.
A gateway wine, perhaps.
Exactly. It's positioned as an excellent gateway wine,
Mm.
appealing both to people who are new to wine and, experienced drinkers just looking for something genuinely different.
And visually, it's just charming, isn't it? I mean, the colors.
Oh, yeah.
They range from a pale, really soft pink all the way to a deeper ruby red. It kind of makes you smile just looking at it.
It really does. It brings a certain, I don't know, joy
Mm.
before you even take a sip.
Okay, so how do they actually do it? How do they turn these beautiful berries into that liquid summer you mentioned? How is strawberry wine actually crafted?
Well, fundamentally, it follows the basic principles of winemaking that you'd recognize. But obviously, strawberries are the star ingredient, the base.
Right.
It starts with selecting really ripe berries. They can be fresh or sometimes frozen right at their peak freshness.
Okay.
Then they're crushed, to get that juice flowing.
And then yeast comes in, just like with grape wine, to kick off the fermentation, turning sugars into alcohol.
Exactly. Now, here's where it gets a bit interesting and different from grapes. Strawberries naturally have less sugar than typical wine grapes.
Ah, okay. Less fuel for the yeast.
Precisely. So the material notes that winemakers will often need to add a bit of extra sweetener during the process.
To boost the alcohol? Or just sweetness?
Both, really. It helps achieve the desired alcohol level, but it's also critical for balancing that natural tartness of the strawberry. It's about harmony.
That makes sense. It's about creating that balance we talked about, not just making it sugary.
Right. Then, after fermentation, the steps are generally pretty quick compared to many grape wines. You strain out the solids.
Get rid of the pulp and seeds.
Yeah. And typically there's a shorter aging period. What truly shapes the final wine, though, is the winemaker's technique.
How so?
Well, decisions like when to stop the fermentation that directly impacts how sweet it ends up, or how they filter it, which affects the clarity and the body, the mouthfeel.
It sounds like something that really lends itself well to, like, artisanal production,
Yeah.
small scale.
It really does. Small batch production is super common. And the material even points out that home winemaking contributes significantly to the sheer variety of styles you can find out there.
Interesting. So, okay, you've got your beautiful bottle of strawberry wine. How do you make sure you're serving it right to get the most enjoyment out of it?
Ah, yes. This is important. Proper chilling is absolutely key. You really want to serve it cold.
Like ice cold.
Yeah.
Or just cool. What temperature range are we aiming for?
Think similar to how you'd serve a white wine or a rosé.
Mm.
So around 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, that's what, 7 to 10 Celsius?
Oh.
The material even gives a quick tip. Just putting it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes before you plan to serve it is usually enough to get it right into that sweet spot.
That's easy enough. What about glassware? Does it matter? Do I need special strawberry wine glasses?
No, probably not. White wine glasses are generally recommended.
White wine glasses?
Well, their shape helps concentrate those wonderful fruity aromas right up to your nose. Get the full effect.
Makes sense.
But honestly, stemless glasses work perfectly fine too, especially if it's a more casual setting. The main point is just to enjoy it, don't get too hung up on the glass.
And you can totally have fun with the presentation, can't you? Like make it look pretty.
Oh, definitely. Garnishing with fresh strawberry slices looks beautiful, obvious, but effective.
Right.
Or, for a fun twist that keeps it cold without watering it down, use frozen strawberries as ice cubes.
Oh, that's clever. I like that.
Yeah. It really lends itself to those lighter sort of celebratory occasions, brunches, garden parties, summer get-togethers.
Now for my favorite part, pairings. What do you eat with strawberry wine? Is it just for dessert? Because that's kind of the assumption, maybe?
That is often the assumption, but what's fascinating here is its surprising versatility. Because of that balance of acidity and fruit we talked about, it actually plays nicely with both sweet and savory dishes.
Okay, savory too. Let's dig into some specifics from the material then. What cheeses work well?
Creamy, mild cheeses are a perfect match. Think fresh goat cheese, brie, mascarpone.
Okay.
Even some mild blue cheeses can work surprisingly well.
Uh-huh.
The wine's brightness kind of cuts through their richness quite beautifully.
Brunch seems like a natural fit. You mentioned it earlier.
Absolutely. It's highlighted as a real star for brunch. Imagine it with French toast with berries or buttermilk waffles,
Yes.
crepes with mascarpone, fruit-topped pancakes.
Yeah.
The wine just complements those flavors without, overpowering them.
Salads too, really.
Yes, especially those with greens like arugula or spinach, particularly if they have a light, maybe slightly sweet vinaigrette. And if you add some fresh strawberries and maybe candied nuts to the salad itself, it's just chef's kiss. Delightful.
Yeah. Okay. What about savory main courses? Anything there?
The material suggests lighter proteins work best. Things like grilled chicken or maybe shrimp,
Okay.
especially if they're served with something like a fruit salsa. The fruit notes in the wine sort of echo the salsa, creating this nice harmony.
Right. Connects the flavors. And for dessert, beyond the obvious, like, just strawberries.
Well, it's excellent with darker chocolate, actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, or lemon bars, that tartness again.
Hmm.
The classic strawberry shortcake, obviously that's a no-brainer. Cheesecake, too. The acidity in the wine helps balance the richness of those desserts.
There was one pairing mentioned that sounded really adventurous, maybe.
Yes, you remember that one? The suggestion of drizzling aged balsamic vinegar over vanilla ice cream.
Which is amazing on its own.
Right. And then pairing that with strawberry wine. That sounds like a must-try for the curious palate, doesn't it?
Okay. Definitely putting that on my list. So this all sounds great, but where do you actually find quality strawberry wine? It's not exactly lining the shelves at every corner store.
That's very true. You're less likely to see it sitting next to the Cabernets and Merlots in a standard grocery store wine aisle.
So where should people look?
The best quality often comes from more specialized producers, particularly fruit wineries or smaller artisanal makers.
Okay. The material pointed to a few specific places to look, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Oliver Winery was one name that was mentioned specifically, apparently known for consistently producing good, sweet strawberry wine.
Okay, Oliver Winery. Good tip.
And I loved that online platforms are an option now, too. Etsy was highlighted.
Etsy for wine?
Yeah, as a place to discover artisanal, small batch wines directly from the people making them. Quality can vary, of course, but it opens up a lot of really unique options you wouldn't find elsewhere.
Huh. Okay. Any others?
Door Peninsula Winery was another name that came up. They're known for their range of fruit wines, including seasonal or sometimes blended strawberry varieties.
And what about closer to home?
Don't forget your local connections. Regional wineries or even farmers markets can be fantastic places to find seasonal, local productions that just don't have wide distribution. Worth checking out.
Good point. Always good to shop local when you can.
Absolutely. And for someone maybe a little hesitant, to jump directly into a pure fruit wine,
Yeah.
the Organic Wine Exchange was mentioned.
How does that fit in?
Specifically, they carry a Frey Agriculturist Rosé. Now, it's a grape-based organic rosé, but it's noted for having beautiful strawberry notes. So it could be a sort of bridge, from traditional wines into this territory.
That's actually a really clever suggestion, like easing your way in. Any specific time of year that's best to look for strawberry wine.
Well, logically, shopping during late spring or early summer often gives you access to the freshest selections, closer to when those strawberries are actually at their peak.
Makes sense. Harvest time.
Exactly. And if you're looking for something truly unique, the sources also noted variations like strawberry ice wines or even fortified ports for dessert options. So there's depth there too.
Wow. Okay. So, wrapping this all up then, what's the big picture takeaway from this deep dive into strawberry wine?
I think for me, it's that strawberry wine is far more than just some sweet novelty drink people might assume it is. It's approachable, it's joyful, and it's surprisingly versatile.
Yeah, it really proves that delicious, enjoyable wine doesn't need a long, complex tradition or any kind of, pretension attached to it.
Exactly.
It just needs to taste good to you.
Well said. It's fantastic for maybe breaking out of a wine rut you might be in, perfect for casual sips, adding a festive touch to celebrations.
Or even as a thoughtful gift, right? Especially for that friend who maybe thinks they don't like wine. This could be the one.
Could be. And its ability to pair with everything from creamy cheeses and brunch foods right through to light proteins and even dark chocolate makes it a real standout, I think.
So the message is, if this has piqued your curiosity at all.
Yeah, grab a bottle, chill it properly, maybe try one of those pairings we mentioned, and just, discover its appeal for yourself. See what you think.
And perhaps the provocative thought to leave folks with here is, if you find you do enjoy strawberry wine, what else are you missing out on?
Good question.
I mean, the world of fruit wines like the blueberry, cherry, or even pineapple varieties that were mentioned in passing in the sources, it's vast, and it's full of potential for personal taste and discovery.
It's a great reminder, isn't it, that the best wine is simply the one you like drinking, no matter what fruit it happens to be made from.
Couldn't agree more. Go explore.